I think one of the basic challenges people face is biblical illiteracy among the masses of adults in congregations. And it's such a crisis that we have no idea how to even start to face it. And if you think about it, the lectionary assumes biblical literacy so that you'll get a New Testament reading or a gospel reading, and then usually an Old Testament reading that is in some way matched, is paired with it, usually thematically in some way. So if you've got a biblically illiterate congregation, and what the biblically illiterate would mean is they don't know the story of Abraham and the story of Moses and the story of David, and they don't know that Abraham came before Moses, who came before David, who came before Isaiah. And so then one week you'll have a passage from Exodus, the next week from Isaiah, the next week back from 1 Samuel, and the next week from the prophet Amos. And so it's skipping around. They don't have the story straight, and they don't have any sense of mastery to be able to put those things together. So the lectionary abets and makes worse the crisis. And I think there's two ways to deal with that. One way is in the Pentecost season of each church year to go with the alternative semi-continuous reading, which then over 3 years tells the Old Testament story from Genesis 1 through the end of the historical narrative of the Old Testament. The other way to do it is to use the lectionary for a while, but then throw it out for a while. Because another way to do biblical preaching is to have 4 weeks on a Bible character, or 4 weeks on what the Bible has to say about love, or 6 weeks in terms of what the Bible has to say about being the community of God. And imagine that a better way to be biblical preachers is to think creatively about how we present the Bible to people. I think one of the reasons that people don't get to Scripture as fast as they could in their sermons is because the congregations that we face now know so little about the Bible. And so there's a sense that, first of all, I need to set up something so that there's a point of contact between the Bible and the people. And you set it up with the story. So if it's going to be about the bread of life, you're going to get 4-minute story at the start about on Elizabeth's bread or something. Instead of jumping right in and then later doing some teaching about bread in the scriptural world. So what I'm saying is that instead of setting up the biblical witness with some sort of reference to our world, enter the scripture right away and then teach about the biblical world. I'm saying that teaching sermons are very effective. And in some ways, you'll just at some point stop and just do some good old-fashioned explaining about what time a prophet was in, or what a certain social practice a psalm refers to, or what concept Paul is describing in the Roman world. So more teaching sermons, I think, is one way to help people open up the Bible.